Hello again. Over the past 3 videos, we've been thinking about imagining sounds inside our heads, whether that's real-world sounds like singing and animal noises, or last time, fantastical otherworld alien noises. In this 4th video, we're going to be concentrating on imagining rhythms. Now, rhythm, as I'm sure you know, is a pattern of sounds over time. And we've got a couple of tasks for you. And for the first task, which is called shoe trip, I'm going to need you to collect some shoes or boots or any kind of footwear from around your house and bring them here. And we're going to look at them and think about them. It could be trainers, football boots, slippers, welly boots, school shoes, your mum's shoes, anything you like. So if you'd like to pause the video and go and find a few different shoes or boots or whatever, and then bring them back and then set the video going again, and I'll wait for you here, okay? Off you go. Right, have you got some shoes in front of you? If not, doesn't matter, you can imagine the sounds. So this activity, shoe trip, what I've done is imagined the different kind of sounds the different shoes can make. So if you turn one of your shoes over and have a look at the bottom of it, they're all different on the bottom. Some of them are made of leather, some of them are made of plastic or rubber. So some of them make hard noises and some of them make soft, squidgy noises. Some of them might have fabric on the bottom if they're slippers. They might have heels, which you can hear when you put your shoe down, or they might not have any heel at all. So they're all going to make different sounds. And these are some of the sounds that I imagined they can make. Shuffle, shuffle, bang, bang, jitter, jitter, patter, patter, pad, 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 twitch, twitch, clip, clop, knock, knock, thump, clitter, clatter, rap, rap, stroke, pound, pound, frolic, brush, 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 whack, whop, hammer, hammer, squeak, tiptoe, scrape, scrape, slip, slop. And I wonder if you can think of some different words for the kind of sounds shoes make. Some of those sounds made you think of movement as well, what the shoe is doing as well. If you can think of any more words, I'd really like to know them. You can put them in the comments underneath the video. Now your task is to look at the shoes you've collected and maybe arrange them a little bit in an order and imagine the sounds they're making. Are they on the pavement? On a wooden floor, in your mind this is? Are they on a carpet or on the beach maybe? And imagine where they are, what noises they're making, and see if you can make a pattern out of those noises, like my words on the page did. So I'm going to give you a couple of moments just to have a look at your shoes, and you can pause the video if you want some more time to imagine these words. So you've got the shoes in front of you and you might have arranged them in a pattern, or you can just arrange them in a pattern in your mind. And I'm going to shut my eyes and imagine my sounds that the shoes are going to make in a rhythm. And you can either shut your eyes or you can look at your shoes and sort of think of the rhythm as you look at each shoe going round. Okay, so we're going to be nice and quiet for a few moments as we imagine the sounds that all these footwear are making. It could go on forever, couldn't it? You might like to do that activity for yourself and make different patterns of sound. And what I've actually done is give you another task that I'm going to put as a link underneath the video, and you can cut out pictures of shoes and you can actually stick them on paper in a pattern. It's as if you're creating on paper your rhythm made by the sounds of the different shoes, and that activity is called the shoe dance. So you might like to have a go at that afterwards. For now, we're going to move on to our second activity, imagining rhythms in our head. And this one is called dot rhythms, and it's based on an idea that my friend Rob had a few years ago. all he did was draw patterns of dots on the paper. And this is the first one. As you can see, it's just got groups of dots. Some are close to each other and then further away. So what do you think that means? Maybe first of all we should decide in our heads what sort of noise the blue dots make. It could be a drum beat. It could be maybe a little drop of water. It could be any noise you like. And then you look at these dots on the paper. If they're further away from each other, are they slower? Or maybe they're louder? When they're closer together, do they go faster? Or maybe they're the loud ones? Or do they get quieter? So you're working out in your head, you're making up your own rules for what these dots on the paper mean. I always imagine starting at the top left and then going right, as if I'm reading a book. But you could go from top to bottom if you wanted to, or round in a circle. You can create your own rhythms from these patterns of dots on the page, okay? So, keep looking at the dots, and then you're going to, in your head, imagine the sounds in these patterns and create rhythms from these dots, okay? Off you go. If you want more time, you can always pause the video. The second one, called Dots 2, you can see is quite different. It's got different colours of dots and different sizes. So what does that mean in your head? What was the noise you thought of for the first set of blue dots? And now what happens to that sound when the dots get lighter? Do they get quieter? Do they get slower? Do they change their noise at all? And then you've got these big dots in the middle of the page. What does it mean when you've got a big dot? Is that louder? Does it feel like it's nearer? Maybe it's faster or slower. So just take a moment to decide what it means for you when the dots change colour, and what it means for you when the dots change size. And then, just like last time, I'm going to be quiet for a moment and let you imagine in your head the sounds of these dot rhythms that you're creating with your sounds in your head. Okay? And off we go. And of course, as usual, you can pause the video if you want to go back and do it again or do it for longer. Here's the last dot rhythm, Dots 3. It uses the ideas from the last page of the different colours and the different sizes, and now you can see we've introduced a new shape, which I think is a different sound. So, remember what sound you used for the blue dots, and what could be a completely different sound for the star shape? Maybe it's a little high triangle sound like we came across in the first video. Maybe it's something as simple as a bird tweeting. Maybe it's a drum or a tambourine. You have a think what that star sound is. And then you're going to read through the page of Dots 3 and imagine that rhythm. You can repeat bits if you like. If you like the first line, you can do it 3 times and then move on to the second line and then do that twice. It's up to you. You're creating these rhythms in your head. So again, if you want to pause the video, and that'll give you some time to do it for yourself. Off we go. Well, I'd be very interested in the sounds that you were hearing. So again, if you want to write a little reply or a comment in the video below, that would be great. for some reason, that last one, not the first 2 pages, but for that last one, I was thinking of little drops of water for the blue circles, and then a big splash noise for the star. You could do the exercises again if you want to for yourself, and think of as many different sounds as you want to. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, where we've just been thinking about creating rhythms inside our head from reading pictures on the paper. First of all, we were thinking about words to describe sound that could do with footwear like shoes and boots. And then we looked at simple shapes, circles and stars, and thought what sounds they could make and how we could make them into patterns. And feel free to do any of those activities again, or print off the activities from the link underneath the video. And I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments. The next and final video will be about making marks on paper and how we can hear those marks. It's as if you're painting sound. I hope you'll join me for that one. Bye.